to tell a sweet story. It's about the paper bag princess. Can I tell that story, Kim?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Because I think this really shows what our mission is about. We have a friend, and she has a 4-year-old niece, and her 4-year-old niece is in her princess phase. She's traipsing around the house in her princess dress, and she's always in her tiara, and she's singing all the princess songs, and she's reading all the princess books. And so our friend wanted to read her a different princess story, and it's called The Paper Bag Princess. I don't know if anyone is familiar with it. I know I wasn't. The Paper Bag Princess is the story about little Princess Elizabeth, little Princess Ronald, and they live in this gorgeous, magical kingdom, and Princess Elizabeth has a beautiful dress and the shiniest tiara, and Prince Ronald is great, and he has perfect hair, and he has an amazing crown, and they're living in bliss in this magical kingdom. And one day, a fire-breathing dragon comes and burns down the entire village, leaving nothing but complete devastation. And he picks up Prince Ronald and he flies away with him. And so Princess Elizabeth is left alone with nothing and no one. And so the first thing she thinks is, her hair is charred, her tiara is dust, her dress is disgusting. The first thing she thinks is, I need to clothe myself. I need to get a dress. So she goes and she finds a paper bag, and she's resourceful enough to make a little dress out of this paper bag. And then the second thing she thinks is, well, now I have to find Ronald, because I have to restore the kingdom with him. We have to do it together. I have to find him. So she ventures off into the forest by herself to trace this dragon. She traces the devastation that the dragon has left behind. And when she gets to the dragon, then she outsmarts him and leaves him totally tired so that he can't do anything. And she steps over his head and she gets to the dungeon, right? She knocks on the dungeon door, and she is so excited because she knows Ronald's in there with his perfect hair and his amazing crown and his perfect clothes. And she knows that he's going to open the door and he's going to praise her. And he's going to say, oh, I can't believe you found me, and how did you find me, and oh my goodness, and he's going to embrace her. And instead what happens is he opens the door and he takes a look at her and he says, what happened to you? Where's your tiara? Your hair is charred. What are you wearing? Come back when you look like a princess. Right? So Princess Elizabeth says, wow. She has this moment and she thinks, you may have perfect hair and you may look like a prince, but you're really just a bum. So she goes off and lives a life by herself, and she restores the kingdom on her own. Because that whole journey it took to get to him, she realized that she was resilient enough to do it all herself. So our friend closes the book and she looks at her little niece and she says, so what do you think of that princess story, right? And our friend expects this little 4-year-old girl to say, yeah, if Princess Elizabeth can do it, then I can do it too. Or, yeah, I can do things by myself. And, all right. But instead, this 4-year-old girl thinks carefully and thoughtfully and looks up and says to her, was the prince very brave? Our culture's princess story is already so ingrained in a 4-year-old little girl that she didn't want to think beyond the idea that Princess Elizabeth was brave enough to venture the woods on her own, intelligent enough to outsmart a dragon, and resilient enough to understand that knowing who you are and honoring yourself is one of the most empowering things that you can do for yourself. So that's what this mission is about. It's about changing the stories that we tell. Because this is what's happening. We're seeing, right? We're hearing, we're believing, and then it's all coming right back, right? And then we're telling it. And then other people are seeing it, and other people are hearing it, and then other people are believing it, and other people are telling it. So what if we change the whole story so that what people saw and what they heard and what they believed was something really tremendous. That was more than just a single story, right? Because if you think about it, you know, all of these women, you're more than one single story. You're you know, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm an actor, I'm a singer, I'm a performer, I'm a writer. I love brain science. I'm a geek about yoga. I have so many things and interests. Many women do. So we're interested in telling stories that resemble realistic, real life, complex women, and not just in their relationship to men.